What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Nick 4K video. Today we're checking out a video from Dream and Digital, and his video is titled, "Are DVDs Still Worth Buying in 2025?" Let's check it out.
This is a DVD. This little disc ruled the world in 1999. 25 years ago, it completely changed how we watched movies. Today, though, well, that's the question. Greetings and salutations, I'm Mike and this is Dream and Digital. If you remember playing video games on a beige colored PC, I'd like to welcome you home because it's those types of experiences that help us navigate the digital landscape of today. If you end up enjoying the video, make sure to slap around the like button and subscribe to the channel so we can grow together. Why am I resurrecting that old format war from over a decade ago? Because DVDs are still being manufactured and sold today. They dominate the used market and they're incredibly easy and cheap to find. But that raises a serious question. With DVDs still so accessible and affordable, is the quality actually good enough to pair with the 4K flat screens we're all using in 2025? Let's look at the tech.
I believe in science.
DVDs max out at 480p resolution, which can look blurry and soft on today's ultra-sharp 4K TVs. It doesn't even begin to compare to Blu-ray's 1080p or 4K UHD's full 2160p. You're missing those vivid colors, HDR, and advanced sound formats like Dolby Atmos. DVDs also use an old video compression method with a low bitrate, usually around 4 to 9 megabits per second, which means more compression artifacts and muddy detail. Blu-ray, on the other hand, can hit up to 40 megabits per second, delivering a much cleaner, crisper image. Audio is also a letdown. DVDs typically use just basic Dolby Digital because 5.1 was kind of where things maxed out in the late 90s, early 2000s for most consumers. Blu-rays, on the other hand, can deliver cinema quality, lossless surround sound. Where modern technology has helped the cause is where modern Blu-ray players use a process called upscaling to make DVDs look a bit better on HD or 4K TVs.
Yep.
Basically, the player takes the low resolution 480p caca image from the DVD and uses software algorithms to fill in extra pixels, stretching the image to fit your screen. It can also sharpen edges and smooth out noise to make the picture seem a little bit cleaner. But here's the catch. It's not creating new detail. It's just guessing based on what's already there. So while it can make DVDs look a little bit better, they'll never match the clarity or richness of real HD or 4K content.
Yeah, I mean, that goes without saying. Now, I will say this is the new DVDs. There are some pretty decent new DVDs, and I say new, I mean like the last 5 years. People are still buying DVDs. The newer stuff is actually looking pretty good, but if you're going to like DVDs from like 2006, you need those algorithms because it'll look like shit on a 4K form. Doesn't even matter. Like I have an OLED, all right, and I borrowed like 2 DVDs from my buddy's dad, who's has a massive collection of DVDs, and he buys all ones from like back in 2004 till like recent ones. So I borrowed 2 DVDs and I was getting them scanned up to put on my Plex server, and I had found that like the one from 2004 looks so bad, but the one from 2023, I have to check what time that movie came out. I couldn't find the blue for it yet, so I grabbed the DVD from him. It looks like really good. And like I said, I have an OLED, so maybe the OLED makes everything pretty much look good. But the old DVD, I would call it like VHS quality. So not every algorithm is right. And like he said, a lot of algorithms are just kind of guessing, and a lot of the times. So maybe we're getting to the point where like future players, future TVs, especially with the advancement of AI, will see the ability to evolve that tech and make it better. But we'll see.
There's no question that Blu-ray and 4K UHD will provide
Let me just check this, make sure this thing's still alive. I didn't hear it die. Okay, good.
a noticeable and obvious improvement in video and sound quality. So Why are they still making DVDs if the technology speaks for itself? I
'Cause
put
people
on my
buy 'em.
bulletproof vest and tinfoil hat and carefully entered Reddit to find me some answers. What I found was quite surprising. There's an entire subculture on there that defends and protects the DVD format with their lives.
Yeah, for those of you who've been watching me for a long time, you know that I will always prefer 4K. If I can't get 4K, I'll do Blu-ray. And for certain titles, I might do DVD. But I don't think I'd ever actually purchase a DVD, especially not a new one for like 20 bucks. Like you go to a store, you can find some online for like $1, $2, something like that. That's different. But when we're talking about like buying a DVD at full price, $20, I think 4Ks are 30, Blues are 25, and DVDs are like 20. I could not go to Walmart and buy a DVD in 2025 for 20 bucks. I just couldn't do that. If you can do that, that's great. But I just feel like that's just a waste of money. At that point, pick up the Blue at least. You know, get that next edition, because the Blue usually comes with the DVD anyways. Get that next edition. You want to keep the DVD, that's fine. But I just couldn't imagine paying 20 for just a DVD. I don't get it. That's just me. I'm not a hater on DVD. I'm just more of a progressive person when it comes to my physical media. When I'm spending my money, I expect to get the best version of what I can get. So I don't know why I would buy a DVD, which, like I said, the new DVDs do look pretty okay. I don't know why I would spend 20 bucks for a DVD when I could spend 25 and get a Blue and a DVD. At least you could then keep the DVD and then sell the Blue for 15 bucks. And then you paid $5 for the DVD type of thing. I don't know. That might just be me, but that's how I feel.
From what I read, it seems that most people who still collect DVDs do so for very understandable reasons. Here are 5 reasons I extrapolated from all that research on why I could see collecting DVDs in 2025 still being a thing.
Let's check it out. Let's see.
Like any collectible, certain DVDs can hold significant value, not because of their video quality, but because of their popularity, rarity, and nostalgia factor. Just like with Funko Pops or vinyl records, there's a thriving community of collectors.
I never heard of that one.
Hunt for out-of-print titles, special editions, or movies that were never re-released on Blu-ray or digital.
Okay.
Some DVDs are common and easy to find for a few bucks, while others, especially limited runs, foreign editions or cult classics, can command a hefty price tag on the...
I gotta go through my buddy's dad's collection and ask if he wants any of the ones that I'm gonna grab, because he has like every DVD ever. But when my buddy inherits it, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna ask to borrow those. When it comes to collecting DVDs, I understand the idea that if you can't get it on 4K or Blue, or if it's hard to find on Blue, get the DVD of it. That's fine. But to pay $500 for a DVD is insane. That is insane. I get like paying 30, 40, 50 bucks for an old movie you can't get that you really want to add to your collection that you love. That's different. But $500 for what? The Norm Show? Is that what that just said? It was the Norm Show. Come on. Only crazy people are actually going to pay those prices. That's no. That's crazy.
Market.
That's crazy.
For collectors, it's not always about the format's capabilities. It's literally about owning a piece of media history. I absolutely hated when things I loved watching in the past change for the worse. Many collectors prefer physical media because it preserves the original, uncensored versions of movies and TV shows. Streaming platforms and newer releases sometimes alter the content, editing out scenes, changing music due to licensing, or censoring material to meet modern standards or regional regulations.
That's a good point.
But on DVD, or even VHS, but we can get into that another time, what you usually get is the original version as it was intended, without revision. For media purists, that makes DVDs not just nostalgic, but historically important, a snapshot of how the content was originally created and released.
I agree. Okay, I get that one.
Money matters. Let's be honest. And saving some of it isn't a bad thing. DVDs are still one of the most affordable ways to build a physical movie collection, while Blu-ray and 4K discs often carry premium prices, especially for new releases or special editions. DVDs can be found for just a few bucks, both used and new. For collectors or casual viewers, that means you can build a massive library for a fraction of the cost. And in some cases, certain rare or out-of-print DVDs can increase in value over time, making them a low-cost collectible with potential upside, especially when the Blu-ray or 4K version either doesn't exist or is heavily censored or altered. Imagine being able to use almost any device that
Okay.
has a disk drive. This is what makes the DVDs one of the most compatible formats out there. Most modern Blu-ray and 4K players are fully backward compatible with DVDs, meaning you don't need any special equipment to play them. Even many laptops, especially budget or older models, still include DVD drives, and if not, external USB drives are so inexpensive and easy to use. Gaming systems
That's a
like the
good point
Xbox
too.
Series X or even older consoles like the PS4 or Xbox One also support DVD playback right out of the box. That kind of plug and play compatibility makes DVDs incredibly accessible, especially for people who aren't ready to invest in a full 4K setup or just want to enjoy a movie without jumping through any hoops. It's simple, it works, and it's everywhere. And that's part of what still makes DVDs a convenient option in 2025. I can't go to any of my favorite secondhand shops or movie and music shops without seeing an entire wall of DVDs. This is something special that streaming often can't compete with. You can more than likely find your favorite movie online or on eBay or Mercari or at specialty shops like Entertain Mart and Second and Charles, which are go-tos of mine here in Colorado. But more importantly, some movies simply aren't available on any streaming platform at all. Take Bachelor Party, for example, an absolute classic from the 80s. We searched every major streaming service and couldn't find it anywhere. So what did we do? The missus and I hunted down the DVD like a pack of rabid wolves. That's the beauty of physical media. If it's not streaming and it's not in your digital library, owning the disc might be the only way to watch it. That kind of access makes DVDs not just nostalgic, but still practical in 2025.
Yeah, that was a big thing for why physical media is kind of making a resurgence. Obviously, it's not going to be as big as it once was, but it's definitely getting much more popularity just over these last few years. Especially if you're in the community and you've been keeping an eye on it, you can see it just getting more and more bigger, especially when it comes to 4K and steelbooks and stuff like that. That stuff's blowing up. So there are a lot of elements that trigger this resurgence. But one of the big things for me and what I've seen online is that people are tired of wanting to go see the specific movie on their streaming services and not having it, or not having the right streaming service, or it was just on your streaming service yesterday, and when you went to go check and watch it today, it's now on another one, or it's just gone completely, and now you're just left not being able to watch it unless you surf the high seas, or of course buy a DVD or a Blu-ray or whatever. That's a big proponent of that. So effectively, why would I pay, I don't know, how streaming services prices are crazy now, like what, $15 a month? Why would I pay $15 a month to several different things, so 60 some dollars? Why would I do that to watch one or two movies, three movies I want to actually watch, when I can just go and go online and buy that same thing I want to watch, that same movie, and I'll always have it. I can buy it for $2 or $3. I always have it, and that's just how it's going to be. It makes a really good argument for why people are moving back into physical, because they're tired of the digital bullshit. And I don't blame people. I really don't.
Now look, I still own DVDs and I even buy certain movies and TV shows on DVD when I must. For me, it mostly comes down to availability, but I'm also someone who leans hard into quality, and I want the content I watch to look its best. I've got a 98-inch TV, and no matter how good the upscale is, stretching a 480p DVD across that much screen just doesn't look right. That said, not everyone has a 4K setup yet.
That's a good point too. I'd rather have a 1080p stream than a 480 physical. The 1080p stream is just going to look better, but a 1080p physical is going to look miles better than a 1080p stream. So there you go.
And for those folks, DVDs can still offer great value. If you're watching on a smaller or older TV, you're probably not missing much. It's a good problem to have. But media consumption, gaming, and movies have always been hobbies I don't mind investing in. It's just part of the experience for me. If I'm being completely transparent,
Yep.
Comedies, guys. A comedy is great on DVD because who cares, right? Now, if you try and pull that with Dune or Blade Runner 2049, something that's special, where the visuals and sound need to be absolute tits to fully appreciate and enjoy on a proper system, then yeah, piss off with the DVDs. However,
Yes.
if you lean more towards collectability or starting
Okay, I agree with
that.
that. I agree with
DVDs
that.
are more than fine, especially if you're enjoying them on a laptop or a smaller, older screen. Thanks for sticking it out till the end. I love talking about physical media in general. I'm sure some of you have watched my CD videos on my other channel, Audio Architects. Sorry I wasn't as lenient with the DVD as I usually am with the CD, but I think you could take away from this video that I still respect the format. Perhaps in a future video, I'll discuss the uncertainty of physical media in general, because it is a problem. It's seriously becoming endangered. I do have a Patreon you can join to consume some after filming commentary and other special features only available on Patreon. I'll leave some links down below. If you enjoyed the video, I humbly ask that you subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, solid video.
Let the like button know who's the boss around here.
I'm your huckleberry. Why, Johnny Ringo, you look like somebody just walked over your grave.
Yeah, solid video, man. When it comes to DVDs, I always say this, is that while I would prefer that everyone would try to adopt the newest, best format, because that's what's going to make physical last longer, that's where the company's going to see like, oh, the best stuff people actually want, okay, we'll start investing more in that, and then we get more and more and things get better. I will always recommend, out of all things, while I would go 4K and someone else might go Blu-ray, work with your budget. If you don't have a lot of money to spend on entertainment stuff, buy DVDs. At like Jubilees, you can get like 20 DVDs for $1 a piece, maybe even less if you really look, really hunt. I personally am able to spend more on the higher, more quality stuff. I have an OLED to run it, but if you don't have all that stuff, don't worry about it. And you have like a standard 1080p TV like my dad from like 2007. If you have that, great. I think if you got some money, but you're going to have some more money later, maybe start with DVDs now and then slowly start adopting newer, better formats. That would be my recommendation to those of you who might be new watching this video. But great video, man. Definitely go check him out. I'll leave a link to this video in the description below. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn notifications for more videos. You want to check out any more of mine, they're right here on the screen. Catch you guys next time. Peace.